Hi guys, welcome back to What's Cooking at the Martin. Today what we're going to do for you is we're going to sous vide some nice tenderloin steaks. I have those right here, ready to go. And we're going to make a side that is potatoes and asparagus with a nice garlicky, rosemary, thymy kind of finish. Together I think they're going to be really good with just a little green salad. Cooking for lunch for my friends, so hang on and I'll explain sous viding to you. Sous viding is a way of cooking that my kids introduced me to probably about a year ago, and we have really enjoyed it, the entire family. What it entails is taking a pot of water and a sous vide, which brings the water up to the right temperature and keeps it there. And you put that together, and like I said, I was lucky enough to have one of my kids, actually my son, gave me the whole kit, gave me the sous vide and the pot and the top. But you can use just a regular pot. I mean, my daughter uses that and she says it works just fine. So what we do is take this and we'll put it right here on the side of the pot. And there's a place in here, there's a minimum and a maximum area. You need to be aware of that. I wasn't, and so the first time I couldn't get it to run, I think it was me. I'm lucky enough to have an outlet right next to my sink, so I'm going to now put it, I'm going to bring it up to where it needs to be on the sous vide in order for the sous vide to keep it at the right temperature. So now I've got the water is up in the sous vide. I'm going to take the sous vide, and what I want to do is I want to bring the temperature of these steaks to 128 degrees. After you finish sous viding them, you're going to want to finish it on the grill or on the stove, and so that because sous viding cooks it, but it doesn't give it that grilled look. It doesn't put grill marks or any of that on it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to 28 degrees and I'm going to start it, and I'm going to put the top on it like so, and then it's going to let me know when it comes up to temperature. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my steaks and I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. Now you can use vacuum packed stuff, and they make silicone bags that you can also use for this. But I'm taking my steaks and I'm going to pack them down into the very end of it like this, so that they will go in and they will float. So I have them like this. Okay? So what I'm going to do is take them and fold it over, and I'm going to squeeze as much air as I can out of it. Now, one of the other things you can do, the way you can get the air out of it, is you can take the meat like this, put it in the water, and let the water decompress it and send the air out of it, and then close it. But that way, you know, it's so that the meat actually sinks. If you put air in the bag, it won't sink. It'll float on top. Not a good plan because it won't cook that way. We've come up to temp on here. I've got my steaks ready right here. So I'm going to take them and I'm just going to lay them in the water. So I need to get a little bit more air out before it goes in. But you want them all to go down to the bottom. Here we go. So now they're all right down on the bottom where the water's all nice and warm. It's at 128 degrees. It went down a little when I put the cold steaks in, but it'll come back up to 28. And that's all you do until you take them out when your friends actually do show up, because even if they're 15-20 minutes late, it won't make any difference, which is the glorious thing about doing steaks this way. Because when we take them out, then we're going to take them and Larry's going to finish them on the grill for us, and you'll see how all that turns out. Anyway, meanwhile, we're going to do the potato dish, okay? So you start out by chopping these little babies into like maybe ½ inch cubes, something like that, so it'll cook basically in about 30-40 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to make you watch me, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so here we have, these are all my potatoes and they're all cubed up like this. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to add, right over here, I have all my spices, and it's rosemary and garlic and thyme. It's all dried. It's what the recipe called for. And I'm going to put half of the oil, which is about a tablespoon of oil in it, as soon as I can get the thing open. Got it? So I'm going to just do like a tablespoon of oil, just like that. And then I'm going to take it and came over here and did all of this. Hang on a second. Look at that. While I get my big spoon. Okay, so I'm back. This time I'm going to take it and just make sure that, you know, sometimes I think that this is very much like the recipe that that you make when you use potatoes and onion soup and oil and you put it in a big bag. And that probably would have been fine to do that with this. Put it in a plastic bag and just make sure that all your nice spices and stuff are getting all over the potatoes and get all of that done. We're going to take this and we're going to put it in a 425-degree oven. We're going to do that for about 20 minutes. And while that is cooking, we're going to get all of our asparagus. We're going to get all of our asparagus ready. Yeah, we're going to get all of our asparagus ready, and we're going to add that to it after 20 minutes in the oven. And then we'll put it back in the oven so that the asparagus can also roast. It is delicious. What goes into this dish is 1.5 pounds of little potatoes, a bunch of asparagus, salt, pepper, olive oil. I have a mix of seasonings, which is dried rosemary, dried thyme, and dried garlic, all mixed up together. Probably a little bit more than a tablespoon of it to go in there. And so we're going to start with our asparagus. And one of the things some people don't understand how you do asparagus is that in order to get the woody ends off of it, you basically take it and try it until it naturally comes off. And that's how to assure that you don't get the woody ends, because sometimes when you use a knife, yeah, they're all nice and level, but the asparagus you're getting isn't the asparagus that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare this asparagus, and then we'll start putting stuff together, and we'll show you what that is, because that can go in the oven while your steaks are cooking, and then if you're talking about dinner, you can go have a glass of wine. Okay, we'll be back. So, the buzzer's gone off. The potatoes are done. Let's check them out. Ooh, oh, those smell so good. Oh, they really, really do. So we're going to bring them over here. Put that up. And next, oh yeah. Oh gosh, can you smell the rosemary? Mm-hmm. That is just wonderful. Okay, so at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fresh rosemary. So it'll have kind of, yeah. And it's time to add the asparagus, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put all of the asparagus in here. And that was a pound of asparagus. I mean, if you don't like asparagus that much, you don't have to use that much, but we love asparagus. So we're going to do it this way. And what we're going to do is we're going to add another teaspoon of olive oil, tablespoon rather. Okay, I'm going to salt, pepper it. I'm going to salt it. And then I'm going to stir it around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to put it back in the oven at 425 for another 10 to 15 minutes. And then it should come out all nice and tender, and the asparagus really, really nice and tender, and the potatoes all nice and tender, and they're going to taste so good with our steak. Okay, so the big reveal kind of sort of thing. So we're going to go over here to the sous vide, and we're going to take out the steaks, turn all of that off, and bring them over here to our cutting board. And here I can do that. And as you can see, there's a lot of really good stuff in the bottom. You can take that and you can actually, with a roux, you can make gravy out of it if that's what you want to do. Everything is all, it's all cooked. And the nice thing is because it was sous vide and it was done in water, it has remained at the same temperature, 128 degrees, which once Larry finishes them outside, we'll bring it up a couple of temps and it'll be perfectly perfectly medium rare. So I'm going to get these out so that he can take them out to the grill. And then we're going to have lunch. Yay! Okay, there we go. And so here you see them. They're a little grayish because they haven't been finished, but they're perfectly cooked. Okay, so we'll be back in a minute. We're going to take you outside to the grill and show you how Larry finishes them. So here we have a 600-degree grill, and Larry is putting the tenderloins right on it. And you want it really, really hot so it crusts up the exterior, because remember, the interior is already cooked. You're not trying to recook it. You're just trying to do it. So then we're going to close it, and he's going to wait. How long will you wait?
I was going to go about 1.5 minutes.
A minute and a half, okay. And then
2 minutes, somewhere in there.
So while Larry is finishing the steaks on the grill, I'm going to get the potatoes out and share that with you. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like. It's all sizzling and bubbly. And all of those, look at that, all of that asparagus is perfectly done. This is going to be so good. So Larry is going to bring in the steaks soon, and we will plate this, and we'll show you what the whole thing is all about. And here we have the steaks all perfectly done right here. We're going to take one, and we're going to open it and show you what the inside looks like. Okay, so here we have them cooked, and I want you to look at the inside of this and see how perfect that is. That is perfectly medium rare. It looks beautiful. And let's see. Taste test. Oh my God, that's wonderful. And it's so, it's wonderful. It's just, yeah.
It's just, yeah.
It's really, really good. And the potatoes, yeah.
That is sweet.
Damn. Now my mouth is full. So, this is wonderful and tender and very, very tasty. I hope that you'll try it, and that hopefully you'll like it. And thank you for being here for What's Cooking at the Martin. I'm going to go eat lunch. Bye.